Microplastics, tiny particles of plastic less than 5 millimeters in diameter, have infiltrated nearly every corner of the planet, from the deepest ocean trenches to the air we breathe. While their environmental impact has been widely studied, the potential consequences for human health, particularly in the brain, have only begun to attract attention in recent years. Emerging research suggests that microplastics are not merely a passive environmental concern, but may also pose significant risks to human health, including possible effects on brain function and structure. Recent studies indicate that microplastics can enter the human body through various routes, including inhalation, ingestion, and dermal exposure. These particles have been detected in blood, urine, placental tissue, and even breast milk. The ubiquity of microplastics in the environment suggests that humans are continuously exposed to these particles, but it is only in the last decade that attention has turned toward their potential neurotoxic effects. A recently published, groundbreaking study found micro and nanoplastics in all tested human organs: kidneys, liver, and brain, with the highest accumulation occurring in the brain and polyethylene identified as the most prevalent polymer. The human brain, with its delicate and highly vascularized structure, presents a particular point of concern. Microplastics could reach the brain through the bloodstream, and given the brain's unique ability to filter substances via the blood-brain barrier, BBB, the question of whether and how microplastics can cross this protective layer is crucial for understanding their potential neurotoxicity. The blood-brain barrier, a selective permeability barrier formed by tightly joined endothelial cells in the brain's blood vessels, acts as a defense against harmful substances. However, microplastics, particularly those smaller than 100 nanometers, nanoplastics, may be small enough to cross the BBB. The potential neurotoxic effects of microplastics are still being studied, but early findings are concerning. Microplastics have been shown to cause oxidative stress, inflammation, and neuroinflammation, which are all processes linked to various neurological conditions. Some specific areas of concern include: 1. Cognitive impairment. Animal studies have suggested that microplastic exposure can lead to learning and memory deficits, possibly by disrupting neural signaling or by interfering with neurogenesis, the growth of new neurons. Human studies are still limited, but the potential for cognitive decline or neurological disorders is a major area of concern. 2. Neuroinflammation. Chronic inflammation in the brain is associated with several neurodegenerative diseases, including Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and multiple sclerosis. Microplastics, when introduced to the brain, may act as irritants, triggering inflammatory responses that could damage neurons over time. 3. Disruption of neurotransmission. Microplastics may interact with receptors in the brain, potentially disrupting normal neurotransmission. This could affect mood, behavior, and overall brain function. In particular, there is concern that persistent exposure could influence serotonin and dopamine systems, which are critical for regulating mood and cognition. 4. Accumulation and bioaccumulation. As microplastics accumulate in the brain, they could cause long-term damage, especially if they are not easily cleared by the body. This accumulation could contribute to chronic neurological conditions over time. Despite the promising advances in microplastic research, several challenges remain. The exact pathways through which microplastics enter the human brain need further exploration, particularly in humans. Most current studies rely on animal models, which may not fully replicate human physiology. Furthermore, the long-term effects of microplastic accumulation in the brain are still poorly understood. Additionally, addressing the broader environmental and societal implications of microplastic exposure requires comprehensive public health strategies, improved waste management systems, and increased regulation of plastic production.